gentlemen, he is the problem child, Jake El Gallo Paul! Making his entrance to the ring, the challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua!
Striking coach, man I've known for over 20 years. And our unofficial scorer, Sean Wheelock, gave the opening round to the returning leg. We go live.
A close fight, so you don't want
for AJ not having it on his own.
I think both guys actually take it on.
Ching two.
There's the left hand.
Got it fairly wide, haven't you, Carl? I know Tony Bellew has too. I've seen Anthony Joshua so fast. Left, right, comes
to it. His age, yeah, he's been pretty busy. Look at it.
That's half.
Anthony Joshua. The Joshua.
Answers with the right hand.
Left from the guard.
Oh, good
Uppercut there.
Joshua misses with the right hand.
The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup played out like a gradual heavyweight thriller. The type where each instant feels weightier than before and nothing arrives simply.
Anthony Joshua, as we all know, never been down, amateur or pro. But there's some
Guys.
It's almost a lazy jab. That's what he wanted.
Nose of Silva.
very loose to play a part in this.
Right from the starting bell, Jake emerged relaxed and assured, moving on his feet, throwing strikes, attempting to dictate tempo and show he belonged in that moment. Meanwhile, Joshua remained upright and watchful, gaze steady, stance controlled, allowing the action to reach him rather than pursuing it.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
And we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with a right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's.
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
Should hold the crowd like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but up close as he tries the uppercut.
The initial sessions were a strategic battle wrapped in power. Jake moving, faking, attempting to break rhythm, and Joshua calculating space, stepping barely enough to show him how tight the ring feels against an experienced heavyweight. As the action continued, combinations became crisper, holds turned into strength contests, and the speed transformed into a psychological test instead of a rush.
Left hook there. Southpaw on there. Combination from Silva.
Another jolting right hand sends Joshua down. Anthony Joshua floored and hurt here in the 6th round.
You sense the audience tighten each time Joshua set his base, and you noticed Jake pushing harder whenever the threat moved nearer, staying composed, staying strong. Halfway through the bout evolved into something rawer, less about validating stories and more about lasting sequences, controlling exhaustion, and choosing correctly under pressure. Neither fighter hurried. Neither fighter crumbled, and each session felt like a challenge of confidence versus knowledge unfolding live.
Very loose to play a part in this.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
And we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with a right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's.
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
Should hold the crowd like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control.
The final stages, perspiration, breathing, and determination told their separate tale, with both competitors needing to depend on calmness as much as force. It wasn't showy. It wasn't wild. It was measured aggression. Desire meeting heavyweight truth, keeping the crowd engaged. Not from a single instant, but because the bout itself raised a question that only the canvas can raise and forced everyone to remain for the response.
That ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you know, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job. It wasn't personal.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it is a big task, but I mean, if this fight were 14 months ago or whatever, however many months ago you had the belt, then when I win, it would have been me becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. So
you would have beat me for the belt.
And you claim you're better than Tyson, all these people, so I mean, we'll see.
Before the initial strike was delivered, the difference appeared right at the weigh-in, silently establishing the foundation for everything that came next. Anthony Joshua walked onto the measurement stage at a firm 243.4 pounds, appearing sculpted, proportioned, and intentional. Not oversized for display, but constructed like a heavyweight who recognizes precisely what his frame requires for 12 tough sessions.
Oh, shit. 243.4.
243.4.
243.4 for Mr. Anthony Joshua. 243.4. I'm gonna need all media to scoot back this way, guys. All media, scoot back. Security, help me out.
Was no waste, no drama, simply that recognizable quality of someone at ease bearing dimensions, power, and pressure simultaneously. At that mass, Joshua appeared like he'd perfected himself for authority and longevity, substantial enough to enforce physical dominance, yet steady enough to operate with control instead of forcing opportunities. It seemed less like posturing and more like evidence that he'd shown up equipped for genuine effort, not theater, understanding that at heavyweight, foundation and consistency count as much as strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul!
Jake Paul came next at 216 pounds. Clearly lighter, trimmer, and defined, presenting himself with the assurance of someone who relied on his preparation and velocity over pure size. The mass showed his strategy, agility, pace, and stamina instead of raw might, indicating a strategy designed around motion, precision, and faith in his conditioning.
216.6. Absolutely dialed! You listen to me, brother! When the ring bells, I'm coming in there and I'm coming on his ass! You know who I are him! Let's go!
At 216, Jake appeared fit and set. Not intimidated by the dimension difference, but conscious of it. Selecting effectiveness over bulk and sharpness over stature. That gap at the scale didn't seem like a disadvantage. It seemed like a risk. One based on the notion that readiness, swiftness, and self-belief could overcome the distance against a considerably heavier opponent. Combined, those figures shared their separate tale before the alarm sounded. Two physiques, two approaches, occupying the same canvas with completely separate visions of how the evening would progress. And immediately after those measurements at the scale revealed this was an adult calculation, AJ took the microphone and essentially informed everyone to stop mixing politeness with leniency. I'm hearing Joshua now and recognizing, right, this isn't cockiness. This is knowledge responding. He's not labeling Jake foolish. He's labeling him risky in the sole manner that counts, conviction. AJ's entire message is straightforward. Dismiss someone who trusts himself and you've already given him a chance. And when AJ declares, you're receiving the complete AJ, that's not promotion. That's a notice covered in respect.
You think this guy's deluded?
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taking on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously, I respect it.
Yeah, but their levels, come on AJ.
No favors, no easy sessions, no celebrity detours, simply a systematic heavyweight performing what heavyweights perform. I appreciate how he describes it, also, like an expert, not an aggressor. Finishes aren't flukes, they're sequences. You don't force them, you construct them. And when he mentions honor, that's the point Jake followers might overlook. AJ's not present to act like villain or champion. He's present to execute his role correctly because this game doesn't value quick paths.
The fact that you've been Olympic champion, two-time world champion, are you going to have to carry him to make it a spectacle? Or is he going to get the full AJ?
The full. I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more than I have.
And yes, he embraces the finish discussion with a smile because honestly, you, me, and everyone observing understands why fighting excites when fists begin landing. This wasn't AJ promoting violence. This was AJ stating, "Don't request me to reduce it." At 243 pounds with strength in both fists and zero desire in monitoring, he sounds like someone who knows precisely who he is, precisely what's anticipated, and precisely how narrow the boundary is between show and gravity. And believe me, when a heavyweight begins speaking this peacefully, this plainly, this directly, that's when you quit joking and start listening.
AJ, they want you to win by knockout. What do you make of that? People here in the States as well.
I love him. That's what we gotta do. That's what we're supposed to do. From the days of watching Mike, whether it's Foreman, Shavers, why do people love boxing? They don't love it from fighters that box 12 rounds and look great technically. They want to see people getting knocked out. It's just the game I'm in. People got to understand it. And I know people know where I'm coming from. Yeah, like, oh my God, he's so crazy. No, they want to see knockouts. I respect it. I love it.
And immediately after AJ expressed it with that peaceful heavyweight confidence, Jake Paul appears sounding like someone who already connected with fate in his personal mind. I'm hearing Jake now and considering, right, this is maximum Jake Paul presence. Half visualization expert, half lead role mentality, totally convinced the cosmos confirmed his narrative. He's not shaken. He's not hasty. He's speaking like this entire situation was scheduled into his goal sheet previously. And listen, whether you accept it or not, assurance like that is risky because it doesn't break simply. When Jake states people don't recognize what he recognizes, I actually trust him. Not because he's correct, but because trust like that makes you enter a challenge grinning. The Starbucks worker reference, pure Jake, cheesy, planned, and somehow still striking.
And to be brutally honest, not many of them are rooting for you. Some have said to me, he's deluded. What would you say to them?
I know you got him picked. Like, that's what it is, you know? Of course, people don't believe in me. They don't see what I can do. They're not in the gym with me. So I don't blame them for having that opinion and thinking that this is a crazy fight for me. But I see something completely different that no one else sees, and they're going to get to see it in roughly 24 hours.
That's him attempting to convert stress into ease. Change a 6 feet 6 inches heavyweight into simply another figure in his story. And when he discusses anxiety, focus, breathing techniques, releasing tension, that's not worry. That's readiness covered in digital language. You might dismiss it, but you can't overlook it. I appreciate how he easily dismisses the arranged bout discussion, also. Like, calm down. This is actual reality, not streaming series. While at the same time performing like the planet's about to transform around him. And here's the aspect you and I must recognize. Jake isn't acting. This is simple. He's naming it the toughest challenge he's faced. And that openness actually amplifies the assurance. He's not careless. He's dedicated. Whether that trust lasts contact is another topic. But entering a situation like this with humor, steady breathing, and zero apparent fear, that reveals me one thing. Jake Paul might be beyond his capability, but he's entering standing, grinning, and totally convinced this section concludes precisely how he pictured it. And in fighting, trust doesn't secure victories, but it does create them difficult.
What would it mean if you pulled this off?
Yeah, when I win tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be an incredible moment, but at the same time, I know that it's coming. So I'll be very happy, and it'll, shock the world. People the world will be turned upside down. But at the same time, it'll just be proving myself right. And I will be the, face of boxing, the king of boxing, and just continue from there into more big fights.
Conclusion of the evening, this seemed less like a basic bout and more like a challenge examination for fighting itself, where knowledge, trust, readiness, and stress all got placed into the identical canvas to observe what failed first. One direction brought years of control and peaceful authority. The other arrived fueled by assurance, perspective, and the refusal to seem misplaced. And that collision alone made each instant count. It wasn't about flash or digital sequences. It was about how each person managed the burden of anticipation when the commotion disappeared and the effort began. Now, I need you in this discussion because bouts like this don't conclude when the alarm ends. Did knowledge establish the standard, or did trust expand the boundaries farther than you anticipated? Share your position in the responses. Discuss it respectfully. And if you're supporting this, confirm you like, share, and subscribe.